Hello there, people of YouTube land! This is the Dodowrestlingfan. Sorry for my voice, as, well, I've been kind of sick for the past 10 days. But I feel great today, so why not do more DWF Rants? I thought it would be a good idea. So, my third episode is going to be Tales of Symphonia. Is a 13-year-old game. Now, why do I bring this up? I've been getting really into the Tales of series. I have Vesperia and Symphonia under my belt. They're both really good games. And I'm even currently playing Abyss. So, why am I bringing this video up if I've had nothing but positive experiences with the series? It's other people that that are just kind of bitching and complaining about Tales of Symphonia's PC release. Now, if you don't already know, a couple weeks ago, Tales of Symphonia finally got a release after 13 years on Valve's Steam service. And literally everyone hasn't been able to shut the frick up about, how the game performs. It's how the game performs. It's the graphics. It's running at 30 frames a second at 720p. Here is my rebuttal to those people who are complaining about the game running at 720p 30 frames a second. It's a 13-year-old game. It's not going to look like Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It's not going to look like a next-gen game. What did you want Bandai Namco to do? Did you want them to do the whole game over just to make your PC Master Race happy? It's just a port of a game that's 13 years old. That's it. That's all. It didn't come off saying Tales of Symphonia PC Remake. It's just Tales of Symphonia, the game that came out on the GameCube 13 years ago. But you are technically getting the superior PS2 version of the PS3 game. So, basically, another thing is people have been complaining about the game, how it isn't starting up, and I don't believe that. I just don't believe for 2 seconds that the game is actually having a hard time starting up. I've seen the PC version in action, and it looks just fine to me. It looks pretty much identical to the PS3 version, which is the one I just finished. And for a 13-year-old game, it looks good, I guess. It's not going to blow you away or anything, but that's because the game is 13 freaking years old. And another thing is, for anybody that's playing on a PC, you guys should just know better. You know what I mean? There's something called the Dolphin emulator. And if you want your Tales of Symphonia at 1080p 60 frames a second, and here's the real kicker, free of charge, you don't have to pay $20 to play the game, it's free of charge, just download the ROM of Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube and play it for free. And have it look better. You guys should just know better than to give Steam your money for games that are 13 freaking years old. Like, seriously, there's a reason why emulators exist. Emulators go all the way up to the frickin' Wii for crying out loud. So if you wanted to play Dawn of the New World on your PC, I guess you could if you want to. So that's another thing, is that you should just know better than to buy an old game off of Steam. And another thing is with Steam is I've never had a good, relationship with it. Steam is literally a very crappy service, in my opinion. The customer service is complete utter crap. That's one thing that everyone can seem to agree on. But every single game I have ever played on Steam always crashes and always lags, and it's not my PC. Because my PC can run the exact same game from another service just fine. So it's obviously a problem with Steam itself, because I've never found it to be a very reliable service to begin with. It's a very finicky, slow service. So, that's just it. And also, another thing is, PC gamers typically own the console. So if you're complaining about the PC version, why are you owning the PC version and the PS3 version and the PS2 version and the GameCube version? There's just no point to owning a game that you already probably own on your PS3. The Tales series isn't very popular, but I can guarantee that if you're a fan, you own Tales of Symphonia Chronicles on the PS3. I can guarantee it. So anybody that would know about Tales of Symphonia knows about the superior PS3 version. That, may I add, for $20 also comes with Dawn of the New World, which is the standalone price on Steam for Tales of Symphonia. So on the PS3, you're actually getting a much better deal. Or like I said, if you have a PC that's powerful enough, just get both games for free on the Dolphin service. That's my best advice for you, and they can run even better than anything else. And that brings up yet another point. Just play Tales of Symphonia. Don't complain about the way it looks, because it's 13 years old. You should just know that. The game is really good. It's got really good characters. It's got great dungeons, except for the Darkness Temple. That level sucked. But it's got some really awesome dungeons, some great bosses, a great story. Lloyd Irving is just awesome, you know? Sheena's great, Raiden's great. Zelos, Wilder, he's awesome. So just play the game and enjoy Tales of Symphonia, because Tales of Symphonia is a really good game that deserves more than this. Like, people like Tales of Symphonia back on the GameCube, but now I feel as if people are looking for a reason to hate a Tales game, because there hasn't really been that Tales game that gets very much hate, as far as I know. I haven't been in the fandom long enough to know about it, but from what I've seen, I haven't really heard any, like, negative. Like, I hear Grace's F isn't that good, but I hear the combat's really good, so for every single time I hear someone say something negative, I hear someone say something really positive about it. So I feel as if people are just looking for a reason to hate a Tales game, like people are looking for a reason to hate Sonic 06. But people look for anything to hate Sonic with. Oh, the Sonic game. Like, I hate the new Sonic game because he has blue arms instead of peach arms. I've heard somebody hate that. Literally, that's just looking for complaining purposes. There's no way in hell that any other series would get that kind of attention and that you could hate a game for that reason, but I'm getting off topic. Just play Tales of Symphonia, because it's a really awesome game. But I will admit this, companies do need to start showing a little bit more love to the PC, because PC is a valid gaming option these days. It's not like back in the 90s where it was just like weird little PC games here and there where you could have like a bootleg Mega Man game or something. No, PC is becoming just as much of an alternative to consoles as consoles themselves. So I do believe, like with developers like, let's just say Batman Arkham Knight, how that game turned out, and I hear that the game still isn't even fixed to this day. That's not acceptable. I will admit that. That's not okay. And Assassin's Creed Unity on the PC I hear was completely utter garbage too. So they do need to start showing more love. They need to put more effort into the PC version than just porting the console version, but it's just not as good as the console version to make you go out and buy the console itself. That's not good enough for the PC, and people spend a lot of money on the PC too. If you want like a super mega powerful PC, I believe the people who spent $2,000 on a damn PC deserve to get a really good experience for their money. It's just not fair. But that really is it for this episode of DW Rants. I'm sorry if this is more of a filler episode, but this is just something that I've had on my mind. It's just, I'm getting sick of hearing people complaining about a game that's 13 years old. And it's a really good game, but because it's on Steam, and PC Master Race thinks it's PC Master Race and wants it to run at 1080p 60 frames a second, which there's a free version of it which actually does run at 1080p 60 frames a second, and you could actually modify the game to run the way you want to, because there's tons of shaders and mods that you can get with the Dolphin emulator. Though people want to pay $20 on Steam for it, I'm scratching my head thinking, I don't know why people want to do that. But with that being said, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. More videos like this in the future. I'm going to start working on the script for my next countdown pretty soon. It's the top 5 favorite games of all time. Don't ask me how it's going to turn out, I don't know, because I have so many games that I love to death. So this will be a really, really hard list to put along, so don't be afraid if it takes a while for that one to come out. But in the meantime, more DWF Rants is coming in the future. That being said, this is the Dodowrestlingfan, signing out.